there is some argument that the Central Bank of Nigeria is not the Bank of England. And so, expecting it to focus only on monetary policy may be unrealistic, but we should walk a careful balance between that and the central bank becoming a jack of all trades. And many people feel that that has happened a lot in the last few years, and therefore they criticize it. And I think they may have a point, because the more and more the central bank gets into things that are not its core mandate, the more its attention is distracted from focused delivery on its core mandate. There's no coherent philosophy underlying the management of the Nigerian economy. We are not clear in our minds that, are we a capitalist economy? And if so, what type of capitalist economy are we? There are different types of capitalism. There is welfare capitalism. There is entrepreneurial capitalism. There is crony capitalism. And there's state capitalism, the way it's done in China. But the only reason China is able to do this, as perhaps the only country in the world that can do this, is because China as a state is a highly capable state. The Chinese public service and bureaucracy is first class. We call them the mandarins. And that's where that word came from. So they're able to direct the economy to serve the purposes of the state, including knowing when to use capitalist principles, moving away from their original idea of socialism. This is what they were able to do 40 years ago, and that's what gave rise to the rise of China today. So in making economic policy, I advocate for what I call strategic capitalism. And that is that the best way for a country like Nigeria to develop itself is to become a developmental state that is skewed towards market principles. There are different types of developmental states. There's developmental states such as you have in Ethiopia, for example, where the state, which is also a highly capable state, Ethiopia has a civil service university, the only country I know in Africa that has such an institution, where people are actually trained to be part of the civil service. So you find that the civil service there is strong. And so they're able to direct their development the way China does. But Nigeria seems to me, the characteristics of Nigeria seem better suited to a market economy that is moderated to be an inclusive market economy. That is to say, the market forces should determine. But we have to understand that we must first generate wealth before we can redistribute it. What you have today in Nigeria is a philosophical confusion where the government is trying to redistribute wealth that has not been created. So you find all these social intervention programs and they become not very effective because there's the conceptual basis of the economy has not been very clearly defined. So two things you find in Nigeria today: an attempt to be a welfare state without having first created wealth, and two, a lot of crony capitalism in which, basically rent-seeking, patronage, advantages are given to people who have access to those in power, and those individuals become rich while the rest of the citizens are getting poorer. So today we are in a situation where the worst try to lead the best. The people who are thinkers, the people who have ideas are not influential in Nigerian politics. The people who are influential in Nigerian politics are the people who are non-intellectual. And even when you have a few intellectuals, they get swallowed into the culture of anti-intellectualism, and that frames the public discourse. So if you come with ideas, Nigerians will say, the man they blow grammar. But there is a role for the citizens in this, because in the citizens saying this man is blowing grammar, we want the practical. They don't understand you can never achieve anything, quote unquote, practically if it is not based on a sound conceptual foundation.